What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hasan Piker, and this is the HasanAbi broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles. It's Saturday, May 30th, 2020, and we are live once again. We're going to go right into it, dude. Protests are happening all around the country still. New York, Louisville, Minnesota. There's information out there about the Minnesota protests. There is narratives. There are narratives being cultivated by the mainstream media and also people in positions of power of outside agitators. That's the ongoing narrative. I don't know where to begin. Downtown LA, more than 500 people have been arrested after looting vandalism followed. I've been talking about this same thing since day one, okay? It's riots. Protests that turn into riots are oftentimes disorganized and chaotic, and you have to keep your eye on the prize. Okay? You have to focus on what the protests are there for, not how they're protesting or what's happening. Obviously, that doesn't mean that like you can do whatever the fuck you want in a protest. Obviously, there are lines that I draw are around looting residential neighborhoods or anything like that, and lighting buildings on fire, because those are both dangerous and end up having consequences for innocents. And also, don't fuck up small businesses either, you pieces of shit. Okay? Now, having said that, I still am in support of the riots and the protests. Okay? Like, don't go out and fucking murder people. Don't go out and fucking loot small businesses. But I don't give a fuck if you go and loot Target as a consequence of this riot. Okay? Like, neither does Target, neither does any number of the people who are trying to defend O'Reilly and auto parts and AutoZone on the internet. Those guys are doing it because they don't like the protest to begin with. They were looking for literally anything they could to be like, shut the fuck up, black people. There is something to be said about mayors all around the fucking country who are literally just terrified of their own police force. You're supposed to whip them into shape. What are you doing?
You don't love the spirit of justice.
You're in charge.
You
Talk through Lupo.
Or you just tuned in the stream. My name is Benjamin Lupo. I play video games for a living, and I'm white. And I didn't choose to be white, just like George Floyd didn't choose to be black. Just like you didn't choose to be gay or straight or pansexual or bisexual, just like you didn't choose to be a man or a woman on the inside. You didn't choose your walk of life. It wasn't up to you. And right now, we live in a world where something that you have no control over influences what kind of life you're allowed to live. You got black men and women facing discrimination every single day in the United States, literally just for being black. They die just for being black. Think about that for a second. People are being killed for something they have no control over, for just being themselves. It's fucking terrifying. Right now in Minneapolis and a ton of other places, there's protesting. And yeah, there's stuff being destroyed. And you know why those people are doing that, chat? I hope you fucking hear me when I say this. But those people are doing that because they have not been heard before now. This has been going on for fucking years. When people go unheard, that's when rioting happens. Because black men and women are still being killed literally for being who they are. And if this ends up creating a situation where they're finally heard and something happens, and the people that are causing these problems, people that have this racist influence that are causing these issues, are removed from whatever positions they're in, whatever happens to resolve this problem.
Did you
Honestly,
see Tony Dummy's tweet about the riots? I think him and Lupo both come off pretty sober and articulate in their comments on this issue.
That'll get repaired and replaced and fixed. That's great. All the people that have died, those people cannot be replaced. You got people fucking everywhere in the entire world. And I know you're going to be like, oh, Lupo, stay in your fucking lane. I don't give a shit anymore. I don't fucking care, dude. It's a nightmare. And the worst part about it is because I'm white, I don't even really know what it's like. I don't. I'm just going to fucking put it out there, dude. I don't understand it. I don't have to face that.
This is really fucking good. This is the correct take.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to get hurt. I don't want people's livelihoods to get hurt. But you know what? I'd rather somebody's livelihood get hurt than another black man or woman die for no fucking reason. And if saying that hurts my livelihood, fine. Fine. I don't care anymore. Fine. Pay attention to the world. People are dying. You lose your job, and it for a little while because it's gonna stop black people from dying for no reason. Sure, good.
I'm sure his chat is just like, oh, nice of you to say from the comfort of your fucking home. I think it is nice of him to say.
Good. Fuck your job then. Sorry. Be mad at.
I think it's great that someone like Dr. Lupo, with a larger audience of mostly normies, having this conversation, because I mean, you watch me. I repeat the same fucking talking points over and over and over and over again, nonstop for 14 hours.
I command you to immediately disperse. Everybody move one spot outside the class.
Look at how horny he is. Look at how horny this motherfucker is. Now, you're going to say that's one bad apple, right? That's one bad apple. Here, I'll show you what the one bad apple looks like in a second.
Hey, this is funny to them. They're smiling.
They're excited for this moment. This is an exciting moment because when you're fucking totally protected, when you got your Kevlar vest on, when you got your fucking helmet on, when you got your gas mask on, when you got your riot shields on, and then on top of that, you got your fucking batons, you got your fucking projectiles, your rubber bullets, the less than lethal rubber bullets that you can still kill. You got your tear gas canisters ready to go. And you're just launching that into a crowd of unsuspecting people wearing fucking bandanas. Okay? That's not being brave. You're being a fucking coward. You're excited. You're a piece of shit. And you're fucking excited to do harm, to cause harm on people. Oh, is this the same guy who fucking shot someone after? Yeah. See, okay. No, okay. Listen. People try to fucking look at this and compare it to like the Michigan protests or the state capitol protests by the hogs, the predominantly white MAGA crowd that rolled up the fucking state houses fully geared up with Kevlar vests and fucking guns themselves. And they screamed in the face of police officers as well. Why the fuck did they not get tear gassed, huh? Why the fuck did they not get their shit pushed in? And when people were unfairly arrested, even in that circumstance, despite the fact they were fucking chuds, what did I say? What the fuck did I say? I said that's still police brutality and that's still fucking unacceptable. There's a difference. When young people, poor people, and black people are fighting for their rights against police brutality, the treatment is this. This is what the fuck happens. So miss me with this outside agitators bullshit. The real agitators are the cops in this circumstance and in every single fucking circumstance. This is it, folks. Colin Kaepernick should drop the silly national anthem protest and get to work. Protesting works. Rioting doesn't. That's the same outlet. That's the National Review. It's because for these people, there is no proper protest. It's about what is being said and who is saying it, okay? If you're black and you're saying, stop fucking shooting me, and stop shooting white people as well, but just please stop shooting us. Please get more accountability. It doesn't matter what way you say it because it's about what you're saying. This is what the police force is there to do. This is what organized violence looks like. This is the reality of state-sponsored and state-sanctioned violence that we have normalized. Let's take a look. Wow. Seems to me like they're just protecting and serving, brothers. Seems to me like protecting and serving is happening right now. I'm so glad that they're like these fucking juice head, meathead pig fucks are protecting and serving this community. Look at all that protection that's going on right now, brothers and sisters. Wow. I feel protected, don't you? If you look at this shit and you think that could it be me, then you have privilege. And of course you are going to be against the protest because They are there to protect and serve you. Oh, look at that. Some good apples in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. People going up to a protester to pick them up. Look at these good apples, dude. Bunch of good ass apples, dude. You could 1000% portray police officers in a negative light and then look at, and say this is how the entire system is. Aren't you doing the exact same thing against protesters when you show protesters or you cry against protesters being shown in a negative light? Yeah, the difference is protesters are unorganized. The police force is literally trained to do this. Okay? The other side is disorganized. The other side is people just like you and me. The other side is just people who are fucking angry. Yes, there are certainly agitators in that crowd. Yes, there are riot tourists that fucking fly in or drive in to go fuck shit up. Sure. But that does not justify any of this. The absence of protesters' voices in U.S. coverage is striking. Thank you, Speed Razor, for the 10-1 gift subs. In Egypt, Libya, Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, etc., we sought out protesters, explained their motives, profiled them. Who are these U.S. protesters? What are their stories? A whole piece of the story is missing. Yeah, that's because in other countries, when we're covering the protests, it's destabilizing that country and outing that country's very glaring problems. So that is in the interest of the United States. That's in the foreign interest of the United States. That's why they do that. They won't do that here because we need to keep order here. We need to maintain order here. We need to make sure that our police force is as brutal as possible. Wonder why. Breaking news, chaos near the White House as protesters are now clashing with Secret Service. Agents repeatedly warned protesters of unlawful assembly, and now the incident has escalated, and they're just... You guys understand what this is, right? Like, when people do this, it's not like Antifa. When people do this, it's not fucking, white agitators or whatever. When people do this, I'm not talking about burning buildings because that shit is sus. But when people run up, break barricades, and face off with cops, and they get their asses beat, that's for a specific purpose. That specific purpose is to show the fucking police brutality. It's like when a prisoner goes on a hunger strike. Yeah, that harms that prisoner. It's understandable, but it's the only thing that prisoner has. It's the only thing left for that prisoner to demand justice. So they know that they're going to get their fucking cheeks clapped. They're not fighting in this circumstance because they want to beat the shit out of cops or whatever. Why are you guys throwing up question marks? I'm describing to you the circumstances that they are under, where they are putting their bodies on the line to get their asses beat. So some of you dumbasses who are throwing up question marks in the chat can understand the violence and see what the fuck the police does on a regular basis. Cops are retreating. Good. Look at the fucking cop car, man. He can't do. He's like driving into fucking protesters, trying to stop them from coming in. Like, and then people get fucked. People feel some type of way. People feel some type of way when they see that very same cop car get fucking bludgeoned. Okay, that very same cop car, when it's empty, it's fucked up and has ACAB spray painted on it, and people are like, "I can't believe they're doing that to the cop car. What a bunch! That's collateral damage. Like that poor cop car. Like, what is that cop car being used for?" Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know that cop car has a family. Okay. There's a bunch of other Crown Vics and other like Ford cop cars out there that are going to miss that cop car when that cop car has this window shattered. I know those other Ford Focuses. They're going to miss them. But it's collateral damage, and there's one other way that you can show your fucking frustration directly. These people are peaceful. They still get gassed. They're rioting. They still get gassed. They get gassed no matter what. And they get gassed because of chuds like you. Because motherfuckers in the chat and the ideas that they represent and the ideas that they defend allow and normalize this kind of police brutality, which is ironically what these people are protesting. InfoWars truck is getting cucked.
You don't love the spirit of justice. You love your father, the devil.
The Salt Lake protests have started as well. I'm heading out. Wish me luck.
I kind of want to get in the back of this shit. Yeah, y'all getting on the back or what? People just throwing shit at me. Oh shit. People are throwing hella shit at this. Oh shit! They're taking the pole! They're taking the pole! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! They're fucking this armored truck up! Oh shit, bro! He said, why are you attacking this vehicle? Yo, this girl's trying to get the fuck out of here. Yo, he's trying to get through? Alex Jones, right? Alex Jones, right? This is crazy. Bro, they're... My bad. Bro, Alex, no one... My bad. Yo, no one likes fucking Alex Jones, I guess. Oh.
See, spray painting the windows is actually a much more effective way of fucking up the car, because then you render it useless. It's an armored vehicle. You're not going to be able to turn it over. It's going to be very difficult to deal with it. But what you can do is spray paint it to ensure that you can't see anything out of it, in which case then you actually render it useless.
You don't love the spirit of justice. You love
George
your
Floyd,
father,
Breonna
the
Taylor, Ahmaud
devil.
Arbery, Tony McDade, Black Lives Matter. Black people have been suffering under the oppressive weight of racism in America. Wow, look at Twit. Bro, immediately, dude, all lives matter. It's like, what the fuck's happening? He's in the Phantom? What is he doing?
Each other and to get more scared and to roll the dice.
Oh, it's got to be like a famous person. He's got to be a rapper or some shit. There's no fucking way that, like, I wonder who it is. Otherwise, a rich person like that can't roll up to a crowd like that with their fucking car like that. There's just no fucking way. You know what I mean? My man took his photo and he's out. This was staged. This was an old cop car that was randomly placed on the route of a peaceful protest in LA. This was a staged car, then lit on fire. I was just down Fairfax from here where we were artificially stopped. That is an old cop car. I don't know what to think anymore.
You love your father, the devil.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. This just doesn't make sense. The cops were not even there at that point. Why was there a random cop car placed in the middle of the street with no police officers around
I can now
it?
remove the tinfoil hat.
Cops getting dragged? What? That's what happens when the civilian and the police officer are equals. Isn't that what we want? Don't we want equality? No race, by the way. Just no blue, no brown, no black, no white. Just two guys. Or this gal, I guess. I don't know if it's a gal or a guy. I don't want to misgender them, but that's what happens when police are treated like they treat others. I thought all you chuds wanted equality. What the fuck happened? That's the unironic squad W right there, brothers. That's some squad W ass shit right there. If you feel sadness in your heart when you see these little piglets get dragged like this, if you feel sadness in your heart, just remember, who do you think Who do you think threw the first punch? Who do you think dove into a fucking crowd of people thinking that their badge and their Kevlar vests would have protected them? Here, let's look at some more police officers doing the right thing. That is a Columbus Police Department officer point blank spraying a medic who was trying to help another protester screaming in pain. Medic walks up. Medic is like, I need to get there. Police officer pepper spray laughters her directly in the face. Just doing his job, by the way. She should have just not been there. She should have just not been there at all.
All right, we're in Beverly Hills now.
Cops in Louisville were pulling up onto the square with a police siren and then taking away the protesters' milk and water. They were taking away and dumping out the milk that protesters had and defending that process, stealing it. Hey, what happened, guys? What happened to protecting property, guys? Huh? Is he going to drive into the crowd? I bet he is. Yep. Driving into a crowd of people, dude. Hey, guys. So, tell me, you think that's just like one bad apple in that circumstance, you think? They flipped the Bowman. Bowman comes in. Fatness Everdeen, dude. Okay? Fatness Everdeen comes out of his fucking car thinking he's going to go hunting with his bow. Little does he know. Not as easy, I guess. Gets his fucking... Look at this guy. Look at this guy with a skateboard. What a fucking Chad, dude. Immediately, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck this dude up. Boom. They roll him. Beat the shit out of him. Apprehend him immediately. Okay? Let's move past this part. And then...
Yo, fuck Tory Lanez. This is the most lit Instagram live of all time. We're coming to you live from Salt Lake City, baby.
Salt Lake City. They flip his car and then light it on fire. Oh, fuck. Guys, I can't believe property damage. Wait, this is actually unironically an instance where... Is the guy fucking dead, though? No, he's not. They just beat the shit out of him and then fucked this car up. What did the guy do? Oh, he came out of his car with a bow and arrow, with a compact bow and arrow, and tried killing people with his bow and arrow. And it was immediately apprehended.
Brandon McCormick, he says his car was turned over and set on fire because he yelled, "All lives matter." What happened?
I just yelled, "All lives matter." Dude, this is a perfect, and I mean perfect instance of one of these fucks, one of these MAGA fucks absolutely instigating and threatening the lives of others, totally flipping the narrative to try to make himself a fucking victim. NYPD. Is there proof of the bait car? Police officers do this shit all the time. They sting people. That's a human being that they are behaving, that they are doing this to. Is that the first action you're supposed to take? You fucking animal. He's standing on top of the cop car. That's collateral damage to a police car, right? Is the first action you do in that circumstance to fucking try to launch him into the concrete? Is that what you're supposed to do? You can't ask him like, hey man, can you please get down from the car? Here, there's more instances where police stood in solidarity in Camden, New Jersey with the protesters. Now, you're going to say some of this is propaganda. Sure, propaganda, whatever. They're still at least like better than bopping heads. No. That's fucking awesome. What the fuck? I hope they take good care of the horsey though.